Hey, how's it going? Gabriel Nicosia here, author and King of Orion, and I am pleased to say that I have submitted Operation Ignition for review over at DriveThruRPG. What that means is, in the next 3 days or so, I'm going to find out if it's acceptable for their market, and it should be. There's nothing too crass. There's plenty that might be disturbing, but not crass at the very least. And it's done. It's done. So in the coming weeks, I've got another thing to read for the camera. So Tilt, I'm going to keep kicking chapters of Kilt out for folks who want, to listen instead of read, because reading is hard, okay? But Operation Ignition is done. The missions are out there. They're ready. Well, it's not out there or ready yet, but in a matter of days, hours, mere hours. It's been a lot. It's been a lot. Got a lot of reason to celebrate. Despite everything burning. There's so much going wrong right now outside of this little bit of creation. But Operation Ignition is done. Which means I've got myself a little bit of a vacation coming up in space. And I think I might spring for Omega for a month or two. I've got 2 months saved up. Part of me wants to say no way and just stay in alpha life for as long as possible and just keep saving. Just keep But I don't really want to. I'd like to process, for example, reprocess all of the ore that I've gathered. So maybe I'll consolidate all that into one space and use those skills to just... Because you only really need access to the tools that Omega provides for that brief instant where you use the tools that Omega provides. If you use your alpha resources to the greatest extent possible and build up and build and build and build and build and build and build and build, and then time the expenditure of the effort appropriately, you can maximize the value of the benefits that you have available. The same is true in real life. This is one of those things, like those truisms, better to have a bird in the hand than two in the bush, which is a stupid way to say, I'd much rather have a chicken that I can eat now than two out that I have to go catch and bring in. It's much better to have resources on hand and available than it is to not have access to them. Preppers know this, and folks in this current economy, or at least the coming economy, are going to learn this the hard way. You can't eat dollar bills, people. You can't. You got to know where to source locally grown and relatively locally shipped materials to survive. So, if you've got the folks who are actually closest to the ground probably stand to benefit the most from the economy, because when you're already at zero and everybody else gets reduced to zero, it's a lot less of a fall. Gas prices don't bother you much if you don't have a car, you know what I mean? But to that end, now is the best time to be creating, to be generating and producing outlets for the stress that is coming and that is already here. And I've got my latest creation, and it's uploaded, and it's processing, it's cooking. The beast is cooking. Let's see if it's a good roast or not. I've already shared access to it in various channels. Gromeyer's Discord, for example. I asked around in the Echoes of New Eden Discord, but nobody took me up, really. I think there were a couple folks. I got some feedback on it, people saying, why are you feeding alphas? And, that was fodder for a video that will be coming out in a few weeks. I recorded it yesterday. But the long story short on that is, a rising tide lifts all boats. You want a free-to-play game to have free-to-play players coming in, because that's exposure to potential pay-to-play players. And you want varying degrees of accessibility. You want varying price tags on the resources that you're selling. So, for example, free-to-play model is essentially a funnel. Drug dealers know this. The first hit is free, as a matter of course, because you want people to get hooked. And the best gameplay is down at the lowest levels. The best content, the fastest pace, and the hardest to deal with, like the most challenging and interesting, and like you get the least benefit from the most work at the lowest levels. Now, if you're an Omega player, maybe come on down and roll in the mud with us alphas for a bit. You'll find it's a lot more interesting and exciting to lose some of the fancier toys and the bells and whistles and, I don't know, sling PBRs back and slam dance for a bit, you know? It's a lot more fun than champagne all the time, you rich bastards. Landed gentry. But yeah, vacation time. I've been playing, one of the folks at the shelter that I'm living at, he has a copy of Stardew Valley, and I splurged. My treat, my real world treat for me for completing this work is Stardew Valley. So I'm gonna start experiencing that. I'm gonna try and limit myself to a day per day, but it's already given me some design ideas for further expansion. I've actually been using that to write, to more accurately codify the dirt side mechanics of the Lost Isle stories. So Isle and her Tristan, Elbert, Leibniz, Gypsy Jack Hamilton, those characters, all the story stuff that happens between space missions, killing pirates, mining rocks, whatever I do in Eve Echoes with those ships, all the stuff that happens dirt side, like, I'm drawing inspiration from real life, because, you know, you gotta survive and you need food to survive, and smuggling food is very useful in institutions that do not like it when people bring in their own food. And I play by the rules for the most part, but being aware of how to cheat is a lot more useful for noticing who's cheating and noticing who's trouble and who's not. I'm not saying I'm a troublemaker, I just, you know, I love troublemakers. I got a lot of love for troublemakers. And that's the Orby report for the day. It's been good. It's been grand. Operation Ignition. I have turned the key. Let's see if this car starts. And if not, we'll tune it a bit. Maybe make something smaller. Some scooters. E-bikes. Anyway. Best of luck out there. It's a wild world in Rust We Trust. It's about to get some real Mad Max action over the next few months. So hang tough. Hold your loved ones close. And have a good day. Bye.